All right, hello everybody. So this is one Desmos activity that we were working on. Try to get ready for factoring. Factoring is a big focus for the next couple weeks, and it's something that will come up again when you take Algebra 3, 4 in just a couple years. So please make sure you're really working on understanding this concept, and that when it comes back up again in a few years, you'll thank me and you'll thank yourself. There's a video here on the very first slide that can help you understand what's going on. Um, so make sure if you get stuck, you can go back and look at that video or watch this one here. So what we're trying to do is we're just coming up with factor pairs, and the word factor just means things that multiply. So multiply. And so we're trying to make sure that everything always multiplies to make 12x squared. And so if I start with 1x, I need to multiply 1 times 12. 1x times 12 makes 12x. So if I want to make 12x squared, I need to multiply by another x. So now 1x times 12x makes 12x squared. 2 times 6 and x times x. 3 times 4 makes 12, x times x makes x squared. You can check your factor pairs. You'll notice that only one of those adds to make 12x. The first one adds to make 13x. Second one adds to make 8x. Third one adds to make 7x. So the one that we want here is just 3x plus 4x. All right, looking at this one here, similar sort of problem. We're looking for things that multiply to make 10x squared. So 1 times 10, x times x. Blank times 5, so 2 times 5, x times x. Both of those work, and we want the one that adds to make 11x. Well, 2 and 5 make 7, so it's got to be 1x plus x. Very same sort of idea here. 1 times 20, blank times blank. Well, what's missing? What's in between 1 and 4? Well, it could be 2, and 2 times 10, so 2x times 10x, 4x times 5x. You'll notice that there's a nice pattern here. It's actually exponential. 1, 2, 4 is a times 2. On the other side, it's the inverse times a half. The pair that adds to 9x is 4x plus 5x. Here, there's a couple more factor problems. 1 times 100, 2 times 50, 4 times 25, 5 times 20, and 10 times 10. Out of all of those, the one that adds up to 29 is 4x plus 25x. So if you're able to come up with these factor pairs and choose the one that adds to the correct number, you're ready to do factoring. So here we have basically the same thing. I'm just seeing if they get anything trickier. Nothing tricky yet. This was where I wanted to go. So here we have some negatives. Notice that it's a negative 1x and then it's positive 10x squared. So I remember, and they actually have it spelled out here, negative times a negative is a positive number. And so if I have negative 1, I got to multiply that by negative 10 to make positive 10. Multiply it by x to make positive 10x squared. Normally my next one would be 2 and 5, but because of the negatives here, I'm going to try negative 2x and negative 5x, and that works. Multiply to be positive 10x. And the only reason I tried a negative here is because they gave me a negative at the beginning. And if you look down here, they asked me to find the pair that adds to be negative 7. And so that would be negative 2x plus negative 5x. So this is something to watch out for as we practice factoring. Sometimes you're going to have things that multiply to make a positive number, but then also have to add to be a negative number. If that's the case, then both of your factors need it to be negatives. Two negatives multiply to be a positive, but two negatives add to be a negative. One last one here with the negatives. 1 times negative 20, negative 2 times negative 10, negative 4 times negative 5. And we want to choose the one that adds to negative 12x. So that's negative 2x plus negative 10x. Let's just see if there's any other wrinkles in here. Same thing with negatives, reflection. And that's it. So thanks for watching. I'll make another video for part two where it gets just a little bit harder.